Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. We're going to have a blast today, like we do almost every single day, because, we enjoy it here at the Pirate Broadcast. Neena, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you today?
I am better than average. I didn't get up to be average.
I love that. That's good. That's good. That's an attitude to get up with every day.
So Neena, we have been connected for a little while now, and you have this amazing show called Straight Talk, No Sugar Added.
Mm-hmm.
So for those that may not know you yet I say, talk a little bit about where that seed of inspiration came from for the Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. Because I love the title. I love the title.
Thank you. Thank you. I have all my life been known as being very candid and very straightforward. And my husband always goes, "Oh my gosh, can't you just sugarcoat that?" And I'm like, no sugar added, so that's how that started. And truth be told is just, I like to look at real life topics, like things people are truly going through, and just say it like it is. I don't, sugarcoat and fluff it up and make it all pretty with a bow on top. It just is. So that's how that started. It was really about just me. 2 years ago, I just started a podcast because people used to say that I was impacting their life with the things that I was saying to them and how I was leading them and guiding them. And I said, what if I could reach a broader audience? So I started Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. I mean, that's literally how it was birthed. And it was just a monologue at first. Yeah. And, for last year, I kind of let it sit to the wayside because honestly, Russ, it's hard when you're doing it as a monologue because you start to run out of things to say, or at least you do run out of things and then you think nobody really wants to hear it. So this year I decided to revamp. And now what I do is I actually talk to big entrepreneurs and big thinkers and coaches and people that, have been through something and use that life to now impact somebody else's life. So that's what it's become. And it's amazing. It's growing. It's beautiful.
It's funny that you should mention it that way because there are so many things to talk about. And the more you speak on your subject and the more you work through your voice, the same things arrive over and over again. There's a theme that you have and a way of thinking that gets, I think, crystallized as a result of talking about subjects. And you help so many people out. And a lot of times you're helping women out that need a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of straight talk with no sugar added. And you cut the embroidery, get to the point. And so now you're coaching. So now you're starting to coach some individuals, as I recall. So talk a little bit about that.
So what I started doing is I am in a master class for neuro-linguistic programming, and kind of NLP, and just kind of changing the way we talk to ourselves and the way we have trained our brain to kind of limit us in our things that we want to do in life. I came from a pretty tough background and not a very encouraging one. And so it took me some time to get here. So what I'm trying to do now is create a shortcut for people, right? To actually get to that next level that they want to get to without having to go through it all, right? So we use our life experiences to impact them. It's been a blast. Now it's something I've been doing for years, right? But I'm actually now in the midst of creating my courses. And, I do have a couple of paying clients and so on. So now it's time to up the game because I'm seeing amazing feedback and results in these people's lives. So I'm doing it mainly for professional women 35 and over, but I definitely have men also who have been impacted with the podcast and are asking me if I can create programs for them as well. So I might get into that at some point, so people are people, right?
Yeah, people are people.
People are people.
There's still hope for me now. There's still hope for me, Neena.
Of course there is.
Come on. I need a light at the end of at
Right.
the end of the tunnel.
What you need is a vacation, Russ. I see you here every morning. That's what you need. That's your light.
I get to hang out with wonderful people like you, Neena. How can I take off from that? It's
You still
awesome.
need time off, dude.
So Elise is in the room. Good morning, Elise.
Good
Happy
morning.
weekend, all. So happy to be here. I love that you're here. It warms my heart to have people show up in the live streams. And
Yeah, I love that.
Malta, Ken, in from Malta today. Hey, Russ and Neena.
Hey, hey,
Thank you so
Ken.
much. JD, happy
JD.
Friday, Pirates.
I'm a pirate
Woohoo,
now.
woohoo.
Woo,
You are a pirate. Now you're a pirate. See, we
woo.
get something in common now. We're pirates.
We're pirates.
Yeah.
That's right.
Elise says, good morning. Happy weekend. Oh, it's in here twice. That's awesome. She's in here
That's
twice.
amazing.
I want to talk a little bit about transformation because, you know, if we go back, you know, some of our history is kind of challenging. I'm not going to lie there. And we don't necessarily need to go all the way in there. If you want to find out more about Neena, you know, go find her podcast, listen to her episodes, subscribe, leave a review. A 5-star review would be good.
That would be
And,
great.
you know, discover who she is because she's an awesome individual that needs to share and has something positive to share. You know, this is why we bring pirates together, is for the connection, the conversation, and etc. But the transformation that you went through and the resiliency you needed to have in order to accomplish what you knew you needed to do, which was help other people, I think is a thread that goes on and on. And so with the podcast and the coaching and the things like that, what would you say is your superpower?
That's a good question. Why didn't you prep me up for that one? No, I'm kidding. My superpower. I think you know, that's a really good question. I think you know, when I think about you know, what I do in people's lives is really a way of seeing the gift in others. I think is a superpower because I literally see someone who's in front of me who may feel like they can't get to that next level, or they feel broken, or they feel they can't. And for some reason, I have the ability to see beyond that. So even though we're going through like horrible times, and a lot of us are, and mental health is a real thing, I see beyond that. So as I'm looking at the person, I'm looking at, oh, wow, this trial, this obstacle, this thing you're going through is going to set you up so well for what you're going to be doing. And I think that that's a gift, right? A
Yeah.
superpower, a gift, you know, to be able to look at someone that's in front of you who is really crying or really down or really can't, they think they can't. And you can see all of like their greatness, right? I love
Yeah.
that. I love that I have that ability. It took me some time to find that within me, but when I did, I was able to overcome a lot of those mental blocks and obstacles and then help others overcome that as well. So it's awesome.
And I think don't you think a lot of it is based on perspective?
It absolutely is.
Because
Absolutely.
when you're in
hmm
it,
hmm
it's hard to see where to go next.
It
So,
is. And that's, you know, one of the things, I'm sorry, Russ. It
no,
is
go
one of
ahead.
those things that I do with some of my, you know, clients because we do a third party perspective. You know, we do their perspective, the perspective of the person or the thing that they're challenged with, and then the fly on the wall perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because I think we have to do that. We have to pull ourselves out of the situation in order to be able to see the realness of what's happening, right? Not every challenge is here to break you. Challenges are usually here to mold you and lift you and give you now knowledge that you didn't have before. It's just hard when you're in it, right? That's why
Yeah.
perspective is so freaking important. And I've learned to do that, and I've learned to pull myself out of things. So when I'm going through something and I feel blue and I'm getting down, I'm like, let's look outside a second and see what's happening here, you know, because I used to suffer with depression and anxiety. So I had to teach myself these tools. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Embrace the suck. Embrace the suck, but only
I love
for a minute.
that.
but only for a moment.
That's right. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I mean, it
Throw
makes
the
us.
throw the clicker away, get off the couch, go do something positive for yourself,
Yeah. Yeah. And for someone else. Sometimes
Yeah.
when I'm in like the midst of like, oh my gosh, why is this all happening? I try to think of someone I can reach out to help. Whether it's, hey, how are you? Let's go for a walk, or let's do something, or buy something for them, or buy them groceries, whatever it is. When you pull yourself out of yourself, that's when you can actually, overcome whatever that challenge is.
It's hard to feel blue when you're pulling somebody else up.
It really is. Yeah. It's a blessing too, because not only are you helping yourself, you're helping another individual. So you're just rising up, next level.
Absolutely. Check it out, Neena. We got Mark O'Brien in the room. As soon as I turn on you and Neena, we're laughing. It was a great start of the day. Fantastic.
Thanks,
I love
Mark.
that.
Thank you.
And he says, sorry, Neena. So
It's okay.
Kenneth says, savor the flavor and the awesomeness of you peeps sharing the scrumptiously delicious, edible, tasty, good, heartfelt thoughts with us. I love you. I
Oh,
love you,
that's
man. I love
awesome.
Kenny.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, inspiring pirates, and welcome to the pirate ship, Neena.
Thank you.
From
Thank
Wendy.
you.
Marsha,
Appreciate that, Wendy.
my friend Marsha. Ahoy, mates. Happy
Ahoy,
Friday.
mates.
I love you. I love you.
That's
I
awesome.
love the energy Neena is delivering. I am so excited to hear Thriver speak about her journey. We
Wow, thank you.
needed a Neena on the ship. Paddle faster.
Thank you, Wendy. That's awesome.
We're going to be paddling as fast as we can. So how do you search for guests for your podcast? Because one of the things that a lot of podcasters struggle, not me personally, because
of course not, Ross.
I like talking to everybody, but how do you search for guests for your podcast? Because it's kind of a unique thing that your topic is very focused on helping others. And what's your process? I'm curious.
That's funny. It's a couple things. In the beginning, it was really just connecting with, people like you that I see are doing positive things, right? Following you, looking at your content, listening to what you have to say. Because I don't just have anybody on my show. I have people that I really feel do want to impact a life. I don't care if you have 1 billion followers or 2. The whole point is your life impacting another life, right? So I started just following people that way and connecting. And that's what happens, right? Once you start connecting, they start referring you. And before you know it, you just have guests because they want to be on my show, which is great, right? Now I'm the one getting, the emails and the DMs and all of that about wanting to be on my show, which is great. And another platform that I've been using that's helped me connect a lot is Clubhouse. So Clubhouse has been really instrumental because when I go on Clubhouse, it's straight talk, no sugar on there as well. And when we go on there, we talk about real life topics, and then I help people live, right there on the stage. So that's been really, really fun and a great way to connect. That's really how I do it. In the beginning, though, if you are a beginning podcaster, I literally just wrote a nice email to the person I wanted on my show, and said, this is what my show is about. I really love to connect with you. If you're interested to impact my audience, here's my link. I would love to have you on. And that's really, and most, 99% said yes.
Yeah. I've had a few people turn me down, and it's typically because they're on the other side of the world and it's in the middle of the night.
Right. I mean, I've connected with people like that too, where it's 1 p.m. here, but it's like 11 over there. And I'm just like, oops.
Yeah. Well, and I do the show at the same time because it's live, but a lot of podcasters can adjust their schedules too. So, and a lot of podcasters, they'll batch it. They'll sit down and do 10 shows a day, and dial it in. And then
definitely don't do that.
You don't do that. So.
No, but I will do 3, maybe if I can fit it in, like 4 interviews in one day, because I pre-record. And then, then I have my editor edit
Yeah.
it and all of that great stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
and that's about as max as I can do in one day.
Let's go back to helping people, because I think if you could see, in your experience, from your perspective, if you could see one thing that people could change, older professional women change in their mindset, what would it be? What gift would you deliver today?
I think the one thing that I've been finding with most of my clients is that they are just at their peak or not good enough for the next level. And
Imposter
that
syndrome?
imposter syndrome and limiting belief, it is just a lie. It's just a lie, And I don't know. And most of the time when I get women, 35, not so much. But when I start to get the women who are like 45, 50, they start with the I'm too old to. I'm too old to. And I'm like, no, no, you're not,
No.
and then we start working on that mind because it's not true, right? I think it's because the older generation, much older, like my parents and my grandparents always used to say, we're too
My
old to get the next
generation?
job. No, you're too young for that. But and even I grew up in that mindset, right? I had to change
No.
myself. I just turned 49 the other day, right? So I'm almost
Happy
50. So
birthday.
the thing is, thank you. And the thing is, I started to think that too for a little bit, and I had to stop doing that, because the truth is with our age comes an extreme amount of knowledge, tenacity, grit. We know how to work, right? I mean, we know what it is to
Yeah.
grind and do what we have to do. And most of us can manage two and three things. Well, like I have a full-time job, but I still do my podcasting and I'm still doing my coaching, right? And
Yeah.
so we know what it is to work. So I
Yeah.
have to, help. I had to help them out with that, because they have to realize that they're way better than they think they are, and they bring to the table more than they can expect. So that's one of the things. It's the limiting belief and the imposter syndrome.
That's a common thread with so many people too, is they don't
Mm-hmm.
see they look at the obstacles and not the potential.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I mean, social media lies to us, right? Because they're showing you like somebody with a Lamborghini and how amazing he did it in 30 days, which is, I guess it can happen, right? But that's not the norm, right?
Yeah.
So I'm at the place right now. Well, yes, of course, I'm making six figures now. I'm building my businesses and stuff like that, but I wasn't always here, Russ. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It took me
Yeah.
years and years and years to get here and to develop into who I am today. And so, a friend of mine told me once, oh, I want what you have. I said, great, then go through what I went through. And she goes, what do you mean? I say, well, you have to go to homelessness. You have to be homeless. You go hungry for a couple nights, sleep in your car. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, I don't want that. I said, but you want what I have, right? I
That's the
mean,
experience I have.
right. I mean, if you want exactly what I have, I didn't get here overnight. It took me some grit, crying,
Yeah.
it took a lot of hard nights. It took,
Yeah.
depression. It took fighting for my family to get to where I am today. And now my goal is helping women not have to go through that, so that they
Yeah.
can go to that next level. That's the goal.
I love it. I love it. I want to
Thank
say
you.
hi to Jenny Gold is in the house. Happy
Hi,
Friday,
Jenny.
Pirates. And she says also happy birthday as well, Neena.
Thank you,
So
Jenny.
for sure.
Thank you.
Moesh, Moesh is here.
Mahesh.
Ken says three roots of all evil: deservability, I'm not good enough, and trust.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
trust is such a
Mm-hmm.
Ken. You
Mm-hmm.
brought up a subject that is really not only trusting others but trusting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
how do
Yeah.
you how do you build trust in somebody that may not trust their own opinion of themselves?
Right. So, that's a challenge, right? Because if they don't trust themselves, how can you really trust them, right? But
Mhm.
what you can do is see the content of their character, right? And a lot of times, if people are really authentic and real and you are following them, because most of the time now, Russ, we are doing everything via virtual. It's extremely hard for you to know Neena unless you're my neighbor or my family member, right? So you would have to know me this way. And the only way to know me is to actually watch me, watch what I'm doing, watch my social media. I mean, it's really the only way, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say who you can and cannot trust. But when I like to go with my gut with someone, because if people are full of it, you're pretty much gonna know. You know,
Yeah.
if people are trying to sell you, it's gonna show,
Yeah.
right? So you have to go with your knowledge, who you are as a person and what you can connect to with someone else. I mean, it's the only way to do it, I think, especially this way in a virtual world.
Yeah. And coaching people out of not believing in themselves can be challenging. Because what I've noticed over time, and I want to see if this is a parallel for you, is there are some people that I think enjoy being stuck. They
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the anchor
Wow,
of
that's
the
good.
past
That's
and
good.
they can't
Hmm.
release it. So, it, we can help the helpless, but not the unwilling. So it's
That's
really,
exactly right. That's
so
exactly
how
right.
do
And
you,
I've talked about that.
with no sugar added, you can call them out on it and say, bullshit. When you're ready to grow, come back and see me.
It's exactly what I do. I say, obviously you don't want to be helped right now. So when you're ready, let me know. And they're like, oh, 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 but truth be told, Russ, it would be a complete waste of my time. And it would be
Yeah.
a complete waste of theirs. It
Yeah.
is absolutely a waste of time for me to pour into you every week. You're paying this amount of money to pour into you every week for you to do nothing. I am not your savior. I am your mentor. I am your coach. I'm going to lead you there, but I am not going to do it for you. Right. And I tell them that. And I'm very blunt because I feel like most of the time, professionals, entrepreneurs, and stuff, they know what it is to hit walls, and they're pretty, they're pretty tough when it comes to stuff like that. But if I get
Yeah.
someone who's super sensitive, I'm probably not the coach for that person, because I do have a lot of compassion and I do have a lot of love for people. I do, but I love them so much that I won't let them stay in their shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to let you sit there because I care about you way too freaking much. So if you want to sit there, you're fine. I mean, you're going to end up smelling like shit if you sit in shit too long, right? At least that's what I say. And then I
Yeah.
just, but for the most part, us, I've had a lot of success, and a lot of these women who are really ready to get to that next level seriously and are like tired of being stuck. But
Yeah.
there was like maybe one out of all of the women I've ever coached that just was not ready for what I had, just not ready,
So on
and
your
hopefully one day she
application,
will be.
does it say how thick is your skin?
I should put that on there. But I do ask, how ready are you really? How committed are you really to the change you want to see? Because
Yeah.
it's important. I mean, I don't want to take your money if you're not ready. That's not
Yeah.
fair to you.
Right.
And I don't want to also spend all of this time when I could be giving another client something they really, really need when you don't really want it. So
Mhm.
I mean, and it's been something that, people know me for that, right? I mean, that's why it's called Straight Talk, No Sugar Added. And people
Yeah.
who follow me know that I just say it like it is. It's just who I am. But I do it out of love. I'm not offensive. I'm not cursing somebody out. I'm not,
Yeah.
anything like that, Russ. But if you're not honest with people, what are you doing? What are
Yeah.
you doing? You
Well,
know?
and people need to be honest with themselves.
Right.
Take a hard look at really what's going on around you, because we have this bubble of perception that sometimes we don't see what is really going on in our lives, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe that anybody that wants to make progress cannot be a victim and make progress at the same time. You cannot
Right.
have a victim mentality and say, oh, this happened to me, this woe is me, and make progress. You have to decide, okay, I'm going to be 100% responsible for this. In order for me to get out of this, in order for me to grow from this experience, I have to
Mm-hmm.
be responsible for this experience, because
Exactly.
I was the only one in it. And it's like, okay, it may not necessarily have all the circumstances that were in my control. However, my response to that circumstance is my choice. My
That's
choice. Am I
facts.
going to move into it, or am I going to move out of it?
That's facts. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So Russ
And
Hedge
I
is in the
agree.
room.
Hi,
Thank you,
Russ.
Russ and Nina. So good as always. That's
Thank you, Russ.
gratitude for you, Russ. Thank you so much. Ken says you got to be ready to accept where you are. You can sugarcoat a pile of manure, but it's still a pile of manure. Yes.
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 So true, Ken. Thank you.
This nice pile, steaming hot, little sugar added. No sugar added.
Right. That is hilarious. I like that.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I think I'm
Sherry
gonna put
Lolly.
those two things.
Yeah, Sherry Lolly says, good morning, pirates. Hunt for the new paths instead of falling down and staying in the cavern.
Yep. Thank you,
Absolutely,
Sherry. That's
positively.
true.
You know,
Absolutely.
and I don't, even, going back to your point about social media, sometimes we're only willing to show our most brightest light, our shiniest spots, and you can have, so many dents and dings in the back office that it's just one of those things. And we're all making progress.
Yeah.
We're all able to be, fallen down failures at some point in time in some area of our life. And I
Right.
don't think there's any perfection in anybody's life. And if you think you're
Right.
perfect, liar, liar, pants on fire.
Right. Right. And I mean, I don't care, Russ. Honestly, I have tough skin, so I don't really care too much about what people think of me, whether they follow me or not. I actually want people who want to change their lives. I don't care
Yeah.
about you know negative comments, things like that. So when I'm going through something and when I'm struggling, I'll just turn on my camera and go ahead and do a live on it. You know,
Yeah.
and to be honest, that's the most engagement that you get because people are struggling and they're going through stuff. And so when you can relate
Yeah.
and you're not so perfect, people can connect with you.
I hope people can relate to this subject because it's so important to understand that, folks, we're just traveling along. We're setting the sails. We're moving forward. Just a pirate crew. A little bit of
Hmm.
kindness here and there, compassion, and please return your carts. That's all I got to say. When you go
Hmm.
shopping, return your
Hmm.
carts.
Hmm. Hmm. I always feel guilty when I don't. I'm like, I gotta go return it.
So to share, people can get a hold of you through, if they start Straight Talk, no sugar added. Neena
Yeah.
Perez, you're
Yep.
out there on the socials. You're out there in the airwaves.
I'm everywhere. Yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. Straight Talk No Sugar Added is, basically the platform right now and the podcast. But
Uh-huh.
Neena Perez, you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, all of that. And I'm building out, like I said earlier, I'm building out actually uploading all the coaching programs that I'm creating. I don't want to put anything up until it's perfect or close to what I think is perfect. Um, because,
I am
that is
so
going to bring
opposite.
me it's going to bring me like more clients and more things I got to do. So I'm kind of like really just working on it, working on the
Yeah.
content. And then, then that'll come out soon and that'll be under Neena Perez and all of that. So all of that is good. Anywhere you want to find me, you'll find me.
So what's your intention you want to set today as we leave this show?
Well, I'm hoping that people did take away something from this, especially their mind. I call it mind flow. I don't call it mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like when you set your mind, it's hard to budge. But if you have a mind that flows, you can keep growing. And so I call it a mind flow. So I'm hoping that people got something out of this today where they can continue to grow and have their mind continue to expand and know that they are worth more than they think they are if they have limiting beliefs. And you're not an imposter. You are you, right? So let's just, really embrace who you are, and so that we can move forward into the things we want to do in life. And life is too freaking short.
Life is too freaking short. So also, just to mention, Neena has a book out. It's on Amazon. Go check it
Hmm.
out
Hmm.
and
Straight
connect
talk,
with.
no sugar. I mean, I'm sorry, that one's called "Hit Me with Your Best Shot."
Hit me with your best shot.
Yeah.
So connect with Neena. Start a conversation. And Neena, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being
Oh,
here.
so fun, so fun. Thank you.
We finally got to connect.
I know, so exciting.
I know. And everyone, thank you so much for being here. I all the individuals, Wendy, Marsha, JD, Russ, Ken, Jenny, everybody that supports the pirate broadcast and the pirate community, love you all. Thank you so much for being here, because kindness is cool. Smiles are free.
That's right.
You enjoy the day. Don't go
You
away.
too.
Soon. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable,